Because YouTube is more broken than ever, if you want to see more Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts, and The Legend of Zelda content, I'd really appreciate it if you can hit the bell after subscribing. That way you'll never miss another video again. This is my first time in years actually going completely blind for a video that I'm actually making. So there's no script, there's not even an outline, but I was driving on the way home today and I really wanted to talk about a certain topic, and I just really wanted to go off the dome and really pick you guys' brains on how you guys feel about this as well. I think I can speak for most Kingdom Hearts fans when I go as far as to say that Aqua is probably one of the best characters in the whole series. Not necessarily just from, I guess, character design and battle quotes, and even from a gameplay perspective. Honestly, narratively, she's probably one of the strongest characters written in this series. Of course, next to people like Riku and Sora and even Terra. I'm making a video about that. Hey. So during our time of Birth by Sleep, we did have a whole segment of that game's plot where we actually got to control this character, and of course, during such a time, we did end up really connecting with her. We really ended up going through all these worlds and seeing these situations that occurred from her perspective, especially if you've played the others' perspectives first, and you can really see the background information onto why she was doing certain things in that game's particular story. It really goes into a big understanding that you have for Aqua's character. And honestly, she's just as cute as a button, honestly. Like, everything she's done has been in order to please the people around her. She didn't mean to get on Terra and Ven's bad side, at midpoint of Birth by Sleep. She was just doing what she was told to do by their master, who also just wanted what was best for them. And then what happens when you take a character as sweet and adorable as Aqua and subject them to such horrors that even the series doesn't explicitly say? This is honestly the sad fate of Aqua and the consequences of her kindness. In my eyes, Aqua is one of the kindest characters throughout the series. Of course, everybody throughout the series shows some kind of kindness, whether it's to the inhabitants of each Disney world they end up going to, or it's to the other people around them, or even to the villains sometimes. Aqua was specifically written to be in a way that the average player would feel for her and be drawn to her. And Nomura explicitly did this because he knew what he had planned for her. And that in and of itself is where all of her mistakes really went in Birth by Sleep, because in the end, the consequences of all of her kind deeds ended up backfiring in her own face. Yeah, doing this is a great thing to do, but are these good things and way to treat people even the right choice to make when in the end, those people that you made care about you have to suffer because you're gone now? In the end, there is consequences for every action you take. And in the end, it ended up being that she had to deal with the events that went on in 0.2 and such and beyond. Because again, Aqua was inside the realm of darkness for over a decade. Let's take a second to really remember what the realm of darkness actually is. The realm of darkness is practically just hell in Kingdom Hearts terms. That's the easiest way to describe it. And that's where all the monsters and enemies of Kingdom Hearts overall dwell. It's a place of darkness. There's no real inhabitants that live there. Worlds are swallowed and can be engulfed by it. It's not the same as the realm of light. And that in and of itself, I feel like we gloss over all the time because we've only ever really seen the same little scapes of the realm of darkness. But when you really think about it, the realm of darkness is just like the realm of light, except the dark equivalent of it, meaning that there are other worlds you could probably go to. It's probably got its own space. All these different things make up the realm of darkness. But in that realm of darkness, Aqua seems to be the only beacon of light within that darkness. And that's the loneliness of the realm of darkness, the horrors that she had to go through. She ended up losing her Keyblade well during her time in there. So yeah, she was fighting her way through hordes of Heartless that would constantly be hounding her. When you really imagine what it must be like to be an angel trapped in hell, imagine how hard that must be. Every time you turn, every time you make a move, it just ends up creating something that makes things so much worse. This is her punishment for being a beacon of light in people's lives. And I just find that so sad for Aqua, being hunted down day in and day out, and then just having to be on the run for years because she had no proper way to defend herself. That in and of itself, I don't know about you, but that is just so painful to think about. Now, again, I know some would argue that it can't have been all bad. If you really look at the cutscenes of Birth by Sleep's final mix and the secret episode and 0.2 and even some moments of Kingdom Hearts 3, you'd probably think that Aqua seemed okay for most of it. And honestly, yeah, the thing is, Aqua's light shined so strong it was able to carry her throughout a lot of her time there. But at the end of the day, I think that even the brightest of people can still feel that warmth of darkness. Because when you really think about it, look at Sora. The way Sora reacted to seeing all his friends get mollywopped in Kingdom Hearts 3, that in and of itself was crazy. We've never seen a side of Sora in that way at all in the series until Kingdom Hearts 3. And I feel that did a lot, added a little bit more depth for his character. And I feel like it'd be strange to not think that that would do the same thing to Aqua. Aqua wasn't all sunshine and rainbows during her time down there. Just because we saw glimmers of points when she was thinking and debating about things doesn't mean that there weren't those moments to where she honestly just broke down and cried. And even then, imagine all those moments where Aqua probably had no other choice to just vent all her frustrations and sorrow to just cry in a corner. But even then, she probably couldn't even cry that loud because again, this is a realm completely overrun by darkness. Shadows, neo shadows, everything was just, they're always crawling around. They're everywhere. She had to hunt for each safe place she could possibly find. But even then, the darkness still surrounded her because everywhere she looked was probably reminiscent of a world that was once not in this darkness. Just like we see in 0.2, there's that hint of sadness you can see from Aqua when she's walking through a town that's completely desolate. And there was probably a point of time when this town was full of life and people and kids running around having fun, and knowing that all those families either hopefully made their way to Traverse Town or ended around here or ended up becoming a Heartless around here. It's really sad. And I feel like it's impossible for me not to think about these things. One, because Aqua's like my second favorite character in this whole series and I love her and I love overthinking video games. But in and of itself too, I've said that a lot this video, I really just think about this every time I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3. And there's one cutscene I never skip, and it's when they save Aqua and seeing her reaction to realizing she's back in the realm of light and she's just sitting there basking in the sunlight, something that we take for granted every day. I just came outside and was ready to get back indoors because I hate sunlight. But Aqua, someone who hasn't seen it in over a decade, it made her cry. It's so powerful. It's such a powerful moment. And I know some people complain about, well, yeah, she was in the realm of darkness for over a decade. So why did it seem like she only just did little tears for a few minutes, just a minute even, and then just be fine the next scene? It wasn't that she was really fine. Again, Remind kind of goes into this. It's still that she's probably cried so much during her time in the realm of darkness, much more than the average person probably has in their whole life. And it still shows how strong she is by not giving up and just becoming a part of that darkness, which, did end up happening, but not because of her giving in. It was because she was attacked. So there is a difference there, but she never did give in to the darkness willingly. And that in and of itself is the consequences of Aqua's kindness and the horrors of the realm of darkness. I know this was a different kind of video, and I know some people may not like this, especially because when you're seeing it from my perspective, this is an aimless video where all the parts of me drinking water or sneezing or something gets edited out, but it feels really aimless to me. But in a way, I feel like I just got to speak what was on my mind in a way I never normally get to do in videos. Even though the last couple of videos have been, no script, this, I always had an outline for it. And this was the first time in years I didn't have an outline for it at all. So, but if you enjoyed this video and haven't already, I'd appreciate if you hit that like button for me. It really does show that you guys like the videos. I mean, views are great, but seeing that people like the video, that confirmation of that thumbs up really does mean a lot. And if it really did mean a lot to you and you're a big fan of Aqua, I really recommend you send this video out to a friend who also really likes Aqua, because Aqua's great and it really means a lot. And we can end up getting the whole community seeing this, and then the whole community can end up getting a new appreciation for Aqua. So if we can get the whole community to hate Terra, then we can get the whole community to love Aqua even more. But thank you guys so much for watching. My name is KingdomAce, and remember, my warriors of courage, to stay strong, stay beautiful, and to always look skyward.